Okay, so we're going to be testing Barry's Packer's green looks all pro barbecue controller, and Barry had asked me how to install it. You really just need two tools, a Phillips head screwdriver and a small flathead screwdriver. I can't really show you how to install it, but the Phillips head are for these screws right here, and you need to install the shake-proof washers when you install this. It's in the manual. It just helps ground the faceplate, but you do need to install them, so make sure you do that. And really, that's it. Other than the wiring and in the manual, it's exactly what it says. Black is power, red is what is red? Oh, there you go. Red is the auger, orange is the fan, and purple is the igniter. Okay. And you can see I have plexiglass on mine. That's why I have this ground wire right here. But okay. So and the Wi-Fi, it just screws on. Let's see if you can see that. It just screws on right there. The Wi-Fi antenna. I have mine just stuck to the side right there. And then the chamber probe just goes in that terminal block. I know it's kind of hard to see. Sorry about that. But you'll see it in the video. It's really fairly simple. It only takes minutes to get it installed. It depends on how crowded this is. I have mine. I test a bunch of these things, so I have mine set up to where I can flop these things in and out, swap these in and out real fast. So, okay. Let me plug this meat probe back in. I'm just using the Traeger meat probe. That's what it defaults to. And because I have a Traeger grill. Okay. Anyway, to turn it on, you just you have to pull this toggle switch and move it off to the left, or sorry, to the right. And it boots up. It takes it, I don't know, 10 seconds to boot. Okay, you can see you turn the panel light on right here. Okay, here's the chamber temp, here's the outside temp, and here's the probe temp. As you can see, they're pretty much all the same, except for that chamber temp's a little warmer. That's probably because it's been sitting outside, and just a little hotter in there. Okay, so to turn it on, that's all you have to do is hit and just push and hold the start button. You have to hold it for like 4 seconds, right, until you hear a little beep. Depending on how noisy it is, you might not hear the little beep. But anyway, you'll see it turn on. You heard the fan kick on. You can see the auger is running, and it is in ignite fire mode or state. Okay, so that means it's got the igniter turned on, and it's going to start it up. Okay, now right now I'm going to check to see what the IP address is. You just hit the knob once, and you can see the menu there. I'm just going to scroll down to configure it here, so just hit that one time, enter. Okay, so its IP address is 192.168.1.212. Okay, hit the knob again, go up one. Okay, we'll go back to the status screen, and I'll go put that in my computer. I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we've turned it on, yeah, to change the temperature, you just turn this knob right here. You can see the temperature right here going up. We'll just set it to 225. Yeah, and remember, hit enter save after you do this, okay? A lot of people will forget that, and it won't save it. So, and the reason for that is in case you accidentally bump it or something like that, it's not going to change your cook temperature. It'll just, because you have to hit enter save, right? Okay, So right now we're on profile 1. There's 3 minutes left in profile 1, but profile 1 is being held. So after 3 minutes, it's just going to stay on profile 1 until you unhold it. I won't go into that. You can read the manual if you want, or there's a bunch of videos on how all this stuff works. If you ever have a question, feel free to post.
Okay, we're going to turn on the controller. See, it's running 507, the latest update. So to start the controller, you hit the start button. You want to hold it for about 4 seconds. Okay, so see that blinking right there, right under the 180? That's so if you want to change the temp, you can use this scroll. We're going to put it on 225 and save it. First off, this is the status screen. And you can see that the grill caught up with our target temp. So the first box here is showing us where that blinking is the target temperature. And then if you go over, that's how many minutes are remaining in the profile, 6 minutes. And if you go over one more, that shows you what profile we're in. So we're in profile 1 with 6 minutes remaining, target temp 225. So I'm going to show you how the ports, the Meet Pro ports work. So right now, you can see there's a probe in port 1, which is showing 211 degrees. So if you want to move it, take it out on port 2. It takes about 30 seconds for it to update. There it goes. You can see it's saying 212 degrees in port 2. And then I'm going to take it out and put it in port 3. There you go, 213 degrees. You can see all the ports work. I'm going to put it back into 1. So I'm going to show you some of the safety features now. The first safety feature you saw with the grill when I turned it on, you have to pull out to turn on or pull out to turn it off. That way if someone bumps it, you don't have to worry about it. And then the other one is the lock and unlock. So when you hit the lock button, as you can see the controller says locked, you can hit any of these keys and nothing will happen. The only thing you can turn on when it's locked is the panel light. Turn that back off. And then it says controller unlock. So those are the two safety features on the controller. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the grill now. So now it's going into cool down mode. So cool down mode lasts up to 5 minutes, as you can see up there. But if you'd like to change that, you can in the web app.
Okay, so now that we've got our IP address, we just plug it into your favorite web browser. I'm using Firefox 2.168.1.212. Enter. The username is Muxall and the password is the same thing. So if you ever forget the password, it's the same as the username, okay? And you can save that if you want. Okay, so yeah, it took me a minute. You can see the chamber temp is already it's already up to speed. I'm gonna go ahead and start the graph. Okay, yeah, we missed kind of the ignite fire. It took me a little bit to get this thing fired up and recording. So we missed the ignite fire. You can play around with it. All right, so it's set on 180 degrees. Cook time 10 minutes. It doesn't really matter. All right. So right now, the way it works is it defaults to profile 1. You can see this hold is checked, which means this cook time means nothing if this hold is checked. So when this thing gets to 0, it's just going to stay there. It won't go to any of these profiles until you have to uncheck hold.